had an idea that I was going to use a magnetic fastener when I was making the bag. So if I wanted to attach this, I'd have to put it through there, the mechanism would come to the front, it's not going to work. So when I made the bag, I also made an extra piece of felt, and the idea is I'm going to cut out a section of felt, fix the mechanism to it, pop it through, put the fastening on, and having cut out this felt, I can then slip stitch it to the back of the bag, and then fix that piece onto this pocket, to the inside of this pocket. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll pop it in more centrally. I'm actually going to cut it out after I've fixed it. So let's have a feel. So the first one, put roughly there. Yep. And the other one roughly there. There we go. So that's been popped through. And what I'm going to do next is place these washer pieces on, and then push that in. It's very flat. And then push that piece in. So it's very flat. Okay. And there we go. So that's now fixed. The next thing I need to do is cut that out. Trim it back, but I've just cut it out of the large piece of felt for the time being. And then I can trim it down. Now, I've got a couple of colours to play with. So this is going to fit roughly about there, give or take. And I've got a couple of colours to play with. I wasn't quite sure what I'd need, because this particular colour disappears quite nicely on the darker felt, but it's a bit prominent and a bit obvious on the lighter coloured felt. Whereas this one, that's not too bad. I'll use this one. I'll use that one. So all I'm going to do with this one is slip stitch it down. And once I've done that, I'll be able to find the position of where the other part of the magnetic fastener needs to go. Just have a trial, just have a play, just to hold it in place. It's roughly where I want it to go, and pop it over. Yeah, I think that will do nicely. That will do nicely. And by stitching it down, it's not going to affect the design on the front, which I don't want to take away from. Very happy with it, especially the nice bits of red, which turned out really nicely. Got a bit of a knot on the back. It's a bit of a huge knot actually. I'll just trim that down. Okay, slightly smaller knot, and I'll just stitch this down. Now you could use blanket stitch. You could use, in fact, blanket stitch might be quite nice actually. So let's have a bit of a play. I will bring that up there, and then we can start doing a bit of blanket stitch. So I'm stitching this down, and I'm just catching the fibres on the back of the bag flap. I'm not taking it through to the front at all. These little dimples are actually the pins holding it in place. Blanket stitch actually gives it a nice edge. Nice, yeah, very happy with that. Very happy with that. If you got to this point, or I got to this point and I wasn't happy, just unpick it, you haven't committed yourself to anything, just unpick it and start again, the front again. Yeah, that's not too bad. Happy with that, very happy with that. So I'll just do some back stitches just to secure the yarn, and then we'll be ready for the placement of the second part of the magnetic clasp. Here we go. Just snip that off. There we go, so I've got that bit. Okay, so the next thing is deciding where the next part of the magnetic clasp is actually going to be fixed. So as it is, it's a flat bag, you could say yes, it's going to go there, but if your bag is full of goodies and you want to put your clasps down, it may need to be in a higher position. So what I'm going to do is fill this, so it's not too full, but it's got some substance to it. Okay, and then see where the flap is going to lie. What I'm going to do is put some chalk on the tip there, and then just let the bag flap sit nicely, and that gives me a position of there. Bubble wrap out, and I've actually got this pocket is an internal pocket, so it pops out, and I only want to attach this to this section. I don't want it necessarily to go through to the pocket itself. Lovely pocket. Right, so same process as fixing the male part. This is the female part. So I need to mark either side of that with a quick snip. I've also got one of these unpickers as well, which can help. Just got a slight hole there. And the other one is roughly about here. One prong through. Is that two? Let's have yeah, I think that's two prongs through. Put those out the way. Have a look on the inside. That second hole is just about there. We go. Perfect. Perfect. Right, before I fix that into place properly, just have a bit of a trial. Make sure it fits. Yes, happy with that. Very happy with that. So we need to fix the bracket washer, I'll call it a washer, the washer onto the bag. So that's sitting over the top of the two prongs. Squeeze it ever so, make sure it's nice and tight, and pop those in. That one, just turn that round ever so slightly, and there we go. It's nice and flat. You can always add a little bit of pressure with a hammer or something at a later point. So let's have a go. Pretend it's full of stuff. And I'm going to close my bag. There we go. Just open my bag and close my bag. And there we have a bag with a fastener.